Willie Minnix. I'm the author of the Mandolin Dead Man's Tuning books, and I have a new book out. It's a music workshop book on how to play the guitar. Actually, it's not really a lesson book. It's just sort of a workbook where it lets you put your chords. You can write chords down in it. There's some guitar tab that you can use. There are some songs in the back. And there's even graph paper and manuscript paper. So if you need a good workbook, you can check out the Minnix Music Workbook for Guitar. It's available now, and I think there'll be a link down in the box or at my website, www.willieminnix.com. And today we're going to talk about how to play the guitar in open tunings. Now, there are lots of videos out there on how to play the guitar, but I'm hoping to do something a little bit different, and in this series I want to cover how to play in open tunings like open D, open G, open A, open E. And for the first part of this year of this, we're going to go over basically for 5 months how to play the guitar in open D tuning. And so the tuning that I'm in today is D, A, D, F sharp, A, D. And in this video we're going to cover some licks that you can play in open D tuning using the 2nd and the 4th fret. A lot of your open licks, if you want kind of a country sound, or a folk sound, are going to be in your 2nd and 4th fret. So here's a lick that you can start with, and you can use either your slide or you can use it without. Now, I tend to keep my slide on my pinky, and the reason that is because I can control it. And the other thing I did, I'm using a brass slide today. Sometimes I use glass slides, sometimes I use mud slides. I really like those a lot. But today I'm using a brass slide because I think it sounds good with this guitar. And I took a piece of craft foam and I just kind of glued it onto the inside of my slide. And on this end it goes all the way up. And on this end there's about 1/4 of an inch gap. And then the craft foam starts. I don't know if you can quite see that in the video camera. But there you go. You should be able to see it that way. So the craft foam, if I want to, I can put it on my pinky, and then it goes right up to my second knuckle there. Or if I do it this way, it goes to the first knuckle. So depending on how much control I want, putting the craft foam in there gives me that control that I'm looking for. Now, I'm going to cover something real quick that is kind of outside of the realm of the 2nd and licks on the 2nd and the 4th fret, but it's proper tone when you're playing slide guitar. There are actually 2 sounds that you can make when you're playing slide. One's kind of an open, jangly tone, and one's a more controlled tone that you get. The open tone, you just get it by playing the slide on the strings. And you're just letting it glide along the top of the strings. The 2nd tone is one that's really commonly taught, is when you take your fingers of your hand behind the slide and they rest on the string. And they kind of deaden the strings on this side of it. Both of those tones are useful, but I find a lot of blues players, when you listen to them in the old recordings, they tend to use the open one a lot, and I think that's kind of neglected when you listen to a lot of people that teach slide guitar. They say, oh, you always want to make sure you keep your fingers behind the slide. Well, that produces a certain tone, and that's cool if that's the tone that you're looking for, but sometimes that open growl tone is kind of what you want. So learn to use both of them is my advice, and it'll do you well in the future. Now I want to go on to doing a couple licks that are on the 2nd and the 4th fret, or open. And that's one of them. So you get to open the 2nd and the 4th fret. You start open, you slide up to the 2nd fret, up to the 4th fret, back to the 2nd and open, and then open on the, in this case it would be the A string, and then you slide up on the A string to the 2nd fret, let off, and then hit that final D string. And those are a couple variants on that lick. Now if you want another lick, you can play a little bit lower. You can play down here. And that's kind of a good ending lick for sort of a country sounding song. So you're starting on the A string, which is the D string, D-A-D, I hope you can see it, D-A-D. And you're just sliding along that 2nd fret. Now I want to show you kind of a close-up of how I slide. I start behind the fret, slide up to the fret, and then I slide off of it. So that's the technique that I use when I'm doing it. So anyway, back to that lick. You're starting here. You slide off of it. You come up to the F sharp. And you might want to slide up to the 3rd fret on that from the 2nd. So here, up to the F sharp, or then back to that 1st string that you started on, then come down to the one below it, 2nd fret, and then back to the string that you were at. So it's like this. And here are a couple variants of that. Or you could do this one. So on that one you slide from the 2nd fret on that F sharp string all the way up to the 5th fret. Then you can even add in the bass string if you want to. And so on that one I was just ending it by repeating it a couple times. So those are a couple frets that you can kind of mess with this month. Try working on that first box that kind of incorporates a lot of that. And remember, the first box, or for this, for our wants and purposes, is open 2 4, open 2 4, open 2 4, open 1 3. Open 2 4, open 2 4. And if you want to practice sliding that, you can go. just practice doing your different slide techniques. You could do it open, you could do it close. This one's a little tricky. You know, you kind of got to squeeze your hand to get it in to do that closed position on the F sharp string. Anyway, those are some licks that you can try out this month. I hope you have a great day. God bless you. Next month we're going to be talking about expanding the box and moving up into the 3rd and the 5th fret. And we're going to keep going on there until we get all the way up to the 12th fret. So if this video didn't quite do it for you, stay tuned, because we're going to expand and we're going to get up and down the neck by the end of this teaching series in the first few months of this series. So God bless you. You have a great day, and we'll catch you in the next video.